From spending it all to unsolved murders. Stay tuned to number 1 to find out who lost millions of dollars before they could even spend it. Number 10. From rags to riches and back to rags. Lou Eisenberg became an overnight sensation in 1981 when he won $5 million. At the time, it was the biggest lottery payout of all time, and crazy enough, it actually happened on Friday the 13th. Talk about luck. Needless to say, Eisenberg's life changed immediately, and he couldn't keep track of what was happening around him. He was nicknamed Lightbulb Lou because his old job was changing light bulbs in an office building. Following his lottery win, he even became a small-time TV celebrity, doing lottery commercials and visiting several late-night talk shows as a prominent guest. Lou's fame grew bigger and bigger, but so did his spending habit. As would be expected with a lottery winner, he constantly treated himself with expensive trips around the world, dined out in high-end restaurants, and gave money away to everyone who needed it. Over the years, he gave some money to his second ex-wife, remarried again, but the third time still wasn't the charm. And by 2001, Lightbulb Lou was broke. His final check was cashed, and the good life was over. But all's well that ends well. Lou said that he was happy to have had such an amazing turn of events and that he didn't regret a single thing. That's what's called going out in style. Number 9. The lottery karma. Denise Rossi lived with her husband for 25 years, and everything was working out. They both trusted and supported each other, but all that changed. When Denise won $1.3 million in the California lottery, she rethought her life, and she decided to do something different. Something completely different. She filed for divorce. This happened only 11 days after she won the lottery. But here's the plot twist. She didn't tell anyone about the win, including her husband. She probably figured it was best to keep everything a secret, and then when all the fuss was over, she'd be single with all the winnings. Unfortunately for her, secrets this big aren't easily kept. Very soon after their divorce, Denise's husband found out about the whole lottery thing, and he didn't want to let it go. He pressed charges, and a couple of years later, the court ruled in his favor. It was determined that Denise broke asset disclosure laws, and due to the fraudulent behavior, all of the lottery money went over to her husband. That's karma for you. Number 8. Too young to make it. Callie Rogers is the youngest Brit to win the lottery jackpot at the age of 16, but she would soon learn that winning the lottery at such an early age isn't such a good thing after all. Upon winning the jackpot, Callie went straight into party mode. But unfortunately for her, it probably wasn't the best idea. She spent the majority of her $2.3 million winnings on parties, drugs, gifts, holidays, and cosmetic surgery. Unfortunately, all that money couldn't bring the most important thing to her, though: happiness. At times, Callie was so lonely and depressed that she even attempted suicide. Things eventually worked out for her, though, and it happened after she lost all of her money. She's now living with her partner, Paul, and her son, and all that's left of the lottery jackpot is a measly $2,800. But Callie says this is the happiest she's ever felt, and the lottery win? Well, it appears to have been too much, too soon. Number 7. What goes around. In 1991, E.B. Roncaioli won $5 million in the lottery, but she came up with a plan to give part of it away and not tell her husband about it. What happened was that E.B. had a child with another man, and she wanted to give some money to them. Well, not just some money, more like $2 million. E.B.'s marriage to Joseph Roncaioli was far from perfect, as the woman was apparently an alcoholic, and the two lived separately in their big mansion. When her husband found out about her secret plan to give a chunk of the lottery win to a child she had had with another man, he decided to kill her by injecting her with painkillers. After going through the doctor's documents, it was revealed that E.B. had forged her husband's signature and transferred the property to her own name. I guess money is the root of all that's evil. Number 6. Twice bitten, once broke. Evelyn Marie Adams is a phenomenon because she actually had something absolutely insane happen to her, winning the New Jersey lottery twice. The first time was in October 1985 for $3.9 million, and the second time was just a couple of months later in February 1986 for $1.4 million. The odds of one person winning 2 such lottery jackpots are, wait for it, 17 trillion to 1. It's fair to say that Evelyn might be one of the luckiest people alive. After the first win, things started working out pretty well for Evelyn. She paid off all of her bills, gave her daughter money for college tuition, bought a new car, and stuff like that. But later on, especially after the second win, all of that money took her under its wing, and Evelyn went on a gambling spree, spending too much and giving money away to so many people. By the year 2012, Evelyn was living in a trailer without any money left. Her chances of winning 2 jackpots were close to impossible, but her chances of squandering it all were pretty good, and she managed to do it. Number 5. Too generous. Being generous is great and all, but it can sometimes be the cause of your downfall. That is exactly what happened to Janet Leigh. In 1993, she won $18 million, and one would think that she had immediately hit the upper-class lifestyle, living it up in the Bahamas and stuff. However, Janet decided to do something completely different. She went on to donate the bulk of her winnings to political organizations and government programs, and she also gave $1 million to the Washington University in St. Louis, helping them build a new library which was even named after her. In addition to her generous acts, Janet also gambled quite a bit, losing close to $350,000 a year in the process. And with that kind of lifestyle, going broke was inevitable, and that's precisely what happened. In 2001, Janet Leigh filed for bankruptcy. Number 4. A curse in disguise. Billy Bob Harrell Jr. and his wife won the Texas lottery jackpot in 1997, winning a cool $31 million, as they were the only ones with the winning numbers. And for a while, things were working out great for their family. They bought a new ranch, all the extended family members got their own house, and more. Bob was helping his local church community, but then anyone else who came to him begging for money. And that list of those people was never ending, which put an extra strain on Bob's marriage. Unfortunately, he and his wife split the following year. He also made a bad business deal which cost him even more money. Devastated and deep in depression, Billy Bob took his own life on May 22, 1999, less than 2 years after he and his then-wife had won the big prize. His financial advisor said that in the months prior to his suicide, Bob claimed that the lottery win was the worst thing to have ever happened to him. Number 3. Bitter taste of victory. Aruj Khan, a businessman from Chicago, won $425,000 in the Illinois lottery. But he didn't live long enough to see it. Just one day after the winning check was mailed, Khan was found dead. According to the testimony from the lottery official, the chances are high he never even had time to see the check with his own eyes. When he won the lottery, Khan was very happy, saying that this money would help him grow his business. But less than 1 month after that, he was dead. At first, his death was ruled as natural causes, but the family members grew suspicious and demanded a more serious investigation. After a full toxicology test was conducted, it turned out that Khan had been poisoned with cyanide, and the case was classified as murder. In the months to come, different stories have been spun, even those of Khan's widow trying to cash the lottery check days after his death. 5 years later, there are still no arrests in the case, and it's still one of the biggest lottery mysteries ever. Number 2. Charges of murder. Everyone loves the idea of winning the lottery, but it often isn't as magical as it sounds, and for Willie Hurt, it became tragic. Back in 1989, Willie Hurt was living in Michigan as a happy family man, but his life took a wild turn when he won the Michigan State Lottery. Everyone, including Hurt himself, expected the lottery win of $3.1 million to improve every aspect of his life, but it went all downhill from there. The annual installment for Willie Hurt's win was around $156,000, but after only 2 of those, he lost custody of his children during a divorce. Not only that, but he also spent a vast amount of money on illegal drugs. When he started living with his girlfriend, the whole drug-induced lifestyle got completely out of hand, and they started arguing over drugs and the best way to get more of them. One day, Hurt's girlfriend was found shot, and he ended up being charged with murder. To this day, it's not clear what happened between them, but it's safe to say that the lottery win probably didn't improve his life. Number 1. Throwing it all away. In 1998, Gerald Muswagon from Manitoba won $10 million after buying a $2 ticket. It was some story, as no one could believe it, including Gerald. He wanted to turn his life around, and he did. Quite literally, Gerald immediately started shopping around for all kinds of stuff, even the stuff he really didn't need. His shopping sprees always ended up in buying new cars for his friends and family, a new house, several big screen TVs, but money can be a cruel master sometimes, and in Gerald's case, it was just that. He turned his new house into a party pad, but it attracted all the wrong people. There were too many drugs, too much alcohol, and Gerald was slowly losing touch with reality. He did start his own logging business, but it soon fell apart. After all, it's easy to start a business, but it's hard work keeping it all together. After a series of criminal charges for drunk driving and sexual assault, Gerald's fast lane lifestyle led him to spend every dime, and he actually had to go back to work. Not being able to come to grips with his new situation, Gerald took his own life in 2005. Maybe money can't buy happiness. Tell us what you think you would do if you won the lottery in the comments below, and hey, good luck!